Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our pod, The Secrets of Two Girls Who Have Not Seen It All.
I love when we do that.
It's so good.
Yeah, it feels so right.
Like I'm home. Like after a long week, I'm like, yeah, I'm home.
We are home, yeah.
I'm one of your co-hosts, Bella.
I'm Mia.
And today we have a really exciting episode.
Yeah, I'm like geeking. I love this topic.
So, me and I grew up as Disney kids, if you will, or Disney Channel kids.
Yeah, very specific.
Very
difference.
big difference. Yeah.
Like loved Disney as a whole, but like in terms of what we were like watching on the reg, it was Disney Channel.
Disney Channel, yeah. Big Disney Channel girlies. And so we thought it would be fun just to discuss some dcoms that we've been watching recently as a household with all the roomies over summer, a little bit last spring semester.
Yeah.
And
we've had a big phase.
We've had a big phase.
We've gone through a lot. We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah. So we're gonna touch on some.
Yeah, our faves.
Our faves.
Memorable moments.
Yeah, and deep dive into some of the bigger franchises, if you will. But also one that's I don't think it's talked about enough. But
for real.
But we'll get there. We'll get there.
You gotta wait.
First, let's just check in, Mia. How was your first week of senior year?
Oh boy.
It was our first week of fall semester of senior year.
Yeah, we are officially seniors in college. I'm tired. I won't lie. I'm really tired. It's only been 1 week, and I just have a feeling that this is going to be a rough semester.
She's taking, like, crazy classes.
I'm taking 3 night classes, which is just a lot in and of itself, and then they're, like, all upper division classes, so I'm just trying to knock out, like, as many credits as I can, so that my last semester is a lighter load, and I can focus more on finding a job.
Period.
So, yeah, I have a couple interesting classes that I'm taking, but overall I'm just tired. How about you?
Yeah. I had a rough, like, first day, but then I feel like the rest of the week I enjoyed. I think it's going to be a good semester. I think the load's going to be kind of the same as I've had previously.
Right.
But I'm doing...
Busy girl.
A lot of credits, but I'm really excited about my classes, and I'm just taking it one day at a time, because
Period, that's all you can do.
It's all I can do.
Yeah.
But I know, like, if I am having a rough day, I know that I can come home to the roomies and we'll put on the Fosters, and we'll have a key. We'll watch 2 episodes and call it a night. And
no, literally every single day of our first week, we all had night classes, mind you. We all got home at 10 p.m. And yet we all gathered around our living room and we all were like, we need the Fosters. Like
it really is healing.
It gets you through the day.
It really does.
It gets me through the day knowing that I get to come home at the end of the night and just finish it up with some Fosters.
Just something to look forward to.
Like, that's family. I get to watch my family while I'm hanging out with my family.
It's not where you come from. It's
where you belong. Yeah. And I've always said that.
Yep. So, yeah, first week done. That's in the books.
Go us.
So, yeah, let's just
dive right into the dcoms.
So, we're going to start off with a couple standalones that don't have a sequel or a TV show connected to it. The first one on the list is Lemonade Mouth.
So, here's the thing. This was life-changing. So, I'm about to expose myself real hard here. I did not watch the High School Musical trilogy growing up. I know.
Gagged.
I just wasn't a huge musical person growing up, and then my parents also weren't, so, like, High School Musical just, like, wasn't that big of a deal to me, except I did watch the second movie every summer for some reason. I just loved the second one, but I didn't feel the need to watch the first or the third somehow, even though the third one is the best one.
How did you get from Lemonade Mouth to... Okay, continue.
Because, for me, Lemonade Mouth was my High School Musical.
I see, okay.
Like, I think for everyone else's High School Musical, like, I had Lemonade Mouth, and that was truly my jam. Like, I just loved I loved the cast, I loved the story, and I loved the music, and I was a big fan. So when we
Yeah.
rewatched it recently, I was very excited.
It was very fun watching it as an adult.
Yeah,
Because,
it's
like,
there's a lot of stuff that you notice
Yeah.
that is like either poorly done or it just looks cheap as hell.
And, like, the scene where it was supposed to be, like, a rainy day, like, you could tell...
It was not a rainy day.
It was bright out.
It was fully bright out. They had to work with the color correction a lot.
And it was rough.
I think they used, like, a green screen, like, rain filter or something. I don't know.
I do remember being a child and watching that scene and knowing that something was off. Like, I couldn't put my finger on it, but I remember watching and being like,
my
that doesn't
dumbass,
feel
like
a rainy day.
really was sitting there like, yeah, like they're going through it, like it's raining.
Oh my gosh. And then,
I did not have the eye for that stuff when I was little.
Bridget Mendler ate, of course.
Yes, she did. And Haley Kiyoko.
She was committed. She was committed.
She had a passion. She stood for what she believed in.
What did her shirt say? Rule breaker, or what was it?
It was like disobey authority or something.
Of course.
I don't know, some shit like that.
And
where
she
it was
only
just like,
wore that shirt the entire time.
Yeah, but like she was a baddie.
No,
like,
I can't even lie.
I loved her, and I think she was a good person to look up to as a young girl, being like, oh, my voice can be heard if I voice it, you know?
What was strange, too, is that she had two, like, twin younger brothers who were completely white. Because she's mixed.
I remember that,
So she had mixed parents, but those children were, like, literally white boys.
Yeah, that's... It's things like that, where it's just like, Disney did not give a fuck. They were like, you know what, like, we're showing this to, like, 8-year-olds, they're not gonna notice, but the 21-year-olds noticed.
I feel like, too, like, still, even as a kid, I was like, this isn't family. Like, I look at those people, I'm like, this isn't family.
I just didn't think that deep into it as a child.
Really?
I was like, yeah, I guess that's family for this short scene. Like,
okay, what's interesting
they weren't in it that much.
I agree, and I feel like there are some TV show families I'm like, yes, this is family. Like, Good Luck Charlie.
Good Luck Charlie.
Just want to touch on that.
But that's the, like, that was the premise of the show. Like, they had to be family. For this, it was, like, 2 scenes.
I agree, but then there's, like, Dog with a Blog that also I'm like, I feel
They
like
were
none
not
of
family.
these siblings are related to each
Yeah.
other. They all have different baby daddies because none of them look like the parents.
Why was there a redhead and then also, like, a black-haired guy, like
literally
blonde?
who looks like kind of like mixed in a way?
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
I don't know.
he's
I don't
definitely
know.
got something in him.
Something in him.
Meanwhile, everyone else is white. Yeah.
It was just but.
Oh, and
anyways.
that's the kid who was in Lemonade Mouth.
Yes.
Period. Good
He was
connection.
he was cute in Lemonade Mouth. He was really
He was also
cute,
13.
which is crazy.
I know. He looked the same age as everyone else.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they were like late teens.
I remember being young watching that and being like, yep, like good
He's
stuff.
He's
Good stuff.
He's a good one.
He's a good one. Yeah. And then he was on Dog with a Blog and you're like, okay, gotta tune in now because he's in Dog with a Blog, you know?
I never tuned into Dog with a Blog.
I did.
I watched like maybe 3 or 4 episodes.
I was a casual watcher.
That was like near the end of my time at Disney Channel. I was going into the YouTuber world.
It was kind of like if it was on and that was the only thing to watch, I would watch it,
Fair.
but I'm not keeping up with it. you
Yeah,
know?
no.
I'm not
no.
invested.
If Disney was playing it and I wanted to watch Disney, I was just
Yeah.
fucked, you know? Like I was sat unwillingly.
So favorite songs from Lemonade Mouth?
Determinate.
She's so
gone, and then Breakthrough. I think those are my 3
Breakthrough,
faves. Yeah,
so
that's like such a
good.
good ending song. Like when
It's
they were
great.
playing at Madison Square Garden, I had the chills.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yep,
Okay,
they
but
are."
can we talk about the rebrand though? Like, why did they go so edgy? Like, remember they're all like
because they are
mohawks.
edgy. They're
Okay.
different. They speak out.
But this was like chuggy edgy because they were
Bitch,
edgy.
it was 2011.
I know,
Give
but
them a
that was
break.
bad. That
Give
was
them
bad.
a break.
And then
I'm
why?
sorry. I'm a stan through and through. I'll stick by them.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I loved it, but I'm like, why did the costume designers do them so dirty? Like, you could still make them
Yeah.
cool, but not like it looks fake. You know? Like,
yeah.
I feel like, Bridget Mendler
probably-
in that era, like when she, like for her singles, like Hurricane, like
Oh my god, yeah.
the
She was
eyeshadow. Like, I'm like,
eating.
I would have believed that more than like these like neon prints,
That's true. That's true. And like the
Yeah.
striped dress with the flowers on it.
Yeah.
I remember that one really vividly. I think Mo was wearing that one, and I was like, oh.
I know, because I liked the way they looked throughout the movie. It was literally just the Madison Square Garden scene where I was like,
okay.
I was like, they're doing too much. Like, they're trying to make them like
well,
this big
imagine you're a high schooler. You all of a sudden get like you make this band and you're like supposed to be edgy and like you're speaking out against like
okay, yeah.
the
Sorry,
norm,
let me really put myself in their shoes.
Yeah, like. You're a high schooler. You don't have the biggest fashion sense. You have these adults telling you what to wear as well. Like,
okay, going back to the movie, can we talk about how she forgave her awful boyfriend?
Real. And let him be in Lemonade Mouth when he literally talked so much shit about them and tried to convince her to drop the band.
His name's Scott. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
He was actually the worst.
And...
He was so manipulative, too. He was like, oh, I'm a part of the sports, and I have a band, so, like, I get to do actually whatever I want.
Yeah.
And he's like, and you get detention? That sucks.
And he was friends with that guy. I can't remember his name, but...
Oh, my gosh. And they sang the most iconic lyric in their song.
Hey, what? Don't you wish you were us?
You're so... Oh,
you're LOL, I'm B.I.G.
B.I.G.
Yeah.
You're LOL,
I'm B.I.G. You're...
When Mia said that, when we were watching it, I thought when we were watching it, I thought he said, you're so LOL, I'm BBG. I was like,
he's baby girl.
They just dropped the hardest lyric ever.
No, for real. You gotta put that in your EP.
Sure, I'm putting it in my EP.
Write that down.
You're so LOL, I'm BBG.
That's hard, yeah. Like
Shakespeare can never.
Again, with the Shakespeare, we're really ripping on him in this show.
He's great. Love him.
Yeah, love Shakespeare, but like
he could never write.
We've done better.
BBG.
Yeah. We as a species have done better.
We've evolved, yeah.
Yeah, like we have Sabrina Carpenter now. We have Lemonade Mouth. Like, yeah, sorry, Shakespeare.
But yeah, anyways, I just was really mad that they let him in the band. Like, I'm like,
question mark?
Yeah.
Like, why were we...
Let him figure his life out.
Yeah, for real. Oh my gosh. Our roommate has entered the realm.
Anything more to say about it? Like, it was a great movie. And
it was a great flick. It was really good for a Saturday night. I don't know...
we had helium balloons for some reason.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot about that. We literally were singing the songs with helium, and that made it like even better now. Yeah. I think I have a clip of you singing Espresso.
Oh yeah. It was a funny night.
It was a really funny night. That's the thing about the dcoms is that like they bring everyone together and they make for such a funny evening.
And also with our group, we're very reactive.
True, we love to talk during a movie. Like we will be talking shit, we'll be emoting, we'll be reacting, we'll be commentating, like,
and it's full body.
Don't ever go to a movie theater with us.
No, like
Ida, so fucking annoying.
We saw a movie in theaters and Ida literally had to look at us and be like, you guys need to be quiet.
No, yeah, she was like, y'all need to, like, you're up here, we need to bring it down here.
It's so bad. Yeah. And like
it was a serious movie.
It was a serious movie and I feel bad if I'm doing it, but I'm like, I'm feeling things. Just let me express.
For and real. I bet if the director of that movie saw you, like he would have like cried. He would have been like, this is what we need. Like
okay.
Anyways, okay, next Lemonade Mouth. What do we rate it?
Ooh, what do we rate it?
I feel like we should rate the movies.
Within cultural context? Or within that viewing that we watched.
Within that viewing that we watched.
Okay. Oh, the songs go so hard.
Like, you can't think about it from your perspective as an 8-year-old, you know? Like, the nostalgia of it. Like, you have to throw that to the side. We're thinking about it purely as a movie now.
Okay.
For us.
It's actually a really great movie.
It was solid.
I feel like it's a good, like, spin off of Breakfast Club.
That's so true. Yeah, it's the
like,
Disney
version.
It's
definitely inspired by it. And I feel like I love shit like that where it's like you bring people from different friend groups and then they all become friends. Like, it's
true.
I love it. I got
and
honestly,
for Disney,
I feel like 8 out of 10 for me.
I was gonna say that too. I was leaning between 7.5 to 8, but I feel like for a Disney movie, it was like it touched on like deeper topics than like they usually.
I mean, her dad went to prison.
Yeah, that's true. Her mom died.
Yeah, and that cat.
Yeah,
we had a running joke that the cat was like a. What is it called when
Stray?
No, when you become like fully invested into the character, like method acting. We were like, oh, the cat's method acting, because this was the scrawniest cat you'll ever see.
They dead ass picked up that cat off the side of the street and said action.
Hasn't eaten in months.
Yeah.
Literally, she's like, my cat.
They
and
were
it's like
starving.
This thing walking across the screen, and you're like,
it was fucking sad. It was like, where did they really have to starve this cat for the role? Like, could they not have just like, I don't know.
They could have just had a normal cat. Like,
true, they didn't need to make it that sad.
Like, it could have just been an old cat.
Yeah,
because this was like just an
ill-looking
cat.
It was fully like falling over.
But great attention to detail, I guess.
For real, PD popped off. Okay. So Lemonade Mouth is an official 8 out of 10.
Yep.
For us.
Okay, moving on. Starstruck.
Fuck.
We watched this a little bit
longer ago now.
Yeah.
But from what I remember, I still enjoyed it. I feel like it's not up there with Lemonade Mouth. I think for me personally, I would give it maybe a 7.5.
Well, let's
7.
analyze it. Let's get through it. Let's come to the conclusion so quickly.
Okay. That's where my head is initially.
Okay.
But maybe talking it through.
Yeah, let's talk it through.
Okay.
So basically, this is a fangirl's fantasy.
Yeah,
this
it really
is.
Except it's not. Because technically, her sister is the fangirl.
I agree, but when
she was YN.
Who?
Sarah.
The main girl?
Yeah.
I agree, she was YN.
She was YN.
And I feel like that's, like, again, still a fangirl's fantasies to be, like...
nonchalant.
I don't even listen to you.
Yeah.
Like,
I brought a book to this concert.
Yeah,
I don't even want to listen to your music.
Yeah, and be like, oh, I hate that I'm riding passenger seat in your really fancy car going to your mansion. You're so annoying.
Dead ass.
Need.
Yeah.
Like, let me be her.
You would kill in that role. Like, you would have been, like, God, Christopher Wilde.
Yeah, like, I recently, for some reason, watched, like, a Chad Dylan Cooper compilation on my feed.
He was funny.
He ate
up. That actor was also in Melissa and Joey. Did you ever watch that show?
I've never heard of that.
Oh my god. It was this sitcom on ABC Family. It had Nick Robinson in it. And I loved that show so much. And he was a guest star in it for like a couple seasons.
Yeah,
and he was funny.
He eats up like that type of like cocky
Where did
role.
he go?
No, he like
Sterling Knight, where are you?
Sterling Knight too, like a name like that.
That's
like,
a star.
You're meant to be big.
For real. And yet, where is he?
No, I don't know, but
tag him in the comments.
But they did eat up with that, like when they were on their like little adventurous date in LA.
Yeah, in the pink car. There's something about the Sunshine Baby.
Oh, like they ate up with like
that
the
was a cute scene. Yeah, like I believed that they were like beefing.
And then the sister was crazy.
Yeah, she was literally stalking him all over LA, being like, he was at this restaurant last night, and then now he's got to be at this beach surfing, and then he'll go get a burger. Like,
yeah, growing up is realizing you want to be Sarah, but you're actually the crazy sister. Like,
that's real as fuck.
Like, it's like,
or you always end up seeing like the celebrities that like you genuinely don't give a fuck about,
like in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say that that's like
really
happened to me.
I've ran into Noah Beck and I've ran into Past That Puss. So
I ran into Shawn Mendes.
Yeah, so I can't really comment.
I know I can't comment, but like, I feel like the whole Sarah thing happening like doesn't happen all that often. I don't know.
Yeah, no duh.
Okay. Continue. Let's move on.
Like, it's fake.
Yes,
it's just a fantasy.
But like it could happen. It could.
This is the Delulu Mia.
Where would I be without it?
No, for real. We need that.
It keeps me going.
But yeah, I love the ending scene too, where she decides to go to prom, and she's like,
yes, and they wear the sunglasses.
The ending scene is them dancing with the sunglasses.
Yeah, and they refuse to let them kiss because I think she was underage and he wasn't.
Was like 15.
Yeah, and so they like did that thing. I think he had like had a hat or something, and he like put it over their faces to make it look like they kissed, but they really didn't. I could totally be making that up. I actually don't remember.
Okay, but also the scene where she comes out and talks to the reporters and she's like literally bawling her eyes out.
8. Yeah, she was acting.
Like, I'm like,
she deserved all the awards.
Where did she go? Did she do another Disney
She
something?
she was in the originals, I want to say. Like, she was in a spin-off of The Vampire Diaries.
Okay.
And then I haven't seen her
She's
since.
really cute. She kind of reminds me of Lucy Hale.
Lucy Hale.
Yes,
that's true. They give similar energies.
Like their facial structure and like their dark hair too and their eyes.
She got really hot.
She was always hot.
But like she was like cutesy and starstruck, but then like in the original she was like really hot.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Lucy Hale.
Oh no, Lucy Hale was always hot.
Yeah.
Like even when she guest starred in Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh, 1,000%. She was bad.
I loved her. Yeah.
Wait, but what was she in when she was older? The originals? Okay, I haven't seen her.
Let me find a picture of her because she looked really good. I never watched the show. I just like knew that she was good looking. What's her name?
That's so beyond my knowledge.
Okay. I feel like Danielle Campbell or Campbell. Yup. Let's see. Like she was a baddie.
Yeah, she's so cute.
Yeah.
She's still really cutesy.
Yeah. She was also in the movie Prom.
Prom Pact?
No, Prom. Bitch, no. Prom. It was like a 2010 movie. I feel like I never actually got to see it, but I just always saw the commercials running on Disney Channel, and she was in it, and some other guy was in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one.
I would be so down to watch it soon.
Okay, I'm down. So now that we've talked about it, is your rating still the same? What did you say? 7 out of 10?
I still give it like a 7.5. Like it's still interesting and it's a fun story, but the music was good too. Actually, I'm trying to think now.
Remember, he's like superhero, like I don't know, with the guitar.
Starstruck,
yeah,
cameras flashing on the magazine.
Living the dream as a teen.
Yeah.
That is.
Wait, okay. The music is a different story. Like I guess.
Okay, I feel like in correlation with Lemonade Mouth, because these were not.
Those were bomb.
They like both had great songs, and they weren't musicals. So, like, the songs weren't necessarily driving, like, the plot.
But they, like, assisted. And, like, they were part of the plot. But they weren't, like, breaking out in a song. I think that's the kind of movie that I like in a musical. Like, I loved High School Musical when we watched them. But I feel like typically I enjoy a movie that has music in it, but it's not part of the scene.
You do love movies that are based off of fake bands or fake artists.
I do. I loved the movie The Idea of You with Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Galitzine. That was one of my favorite movies of the year. I don't care. I loved it. I love a fake pop star. I love a fake pop band. I love it all.
Yep, I know you do. And I feel like Disney during this era was really good at like balancing both movie musicals and movies that had music in it. That was like part of the plot.
True.
So I feel like
was Teen Beach Movie? That's a musical.
That's a musical.
Correct? Okay.
But that was almost like a meta musical. Like, it's more meta because they enter a musical. So they're in a movie, but they enter a movie.
Real. Yeah. Okay.
And, so yeah, let's stick with 7 out of 10 with Starstruck.
Yeah.
Like, and then,
close to Lemonade Mouth, but not quite Lemonade Mouth.
Yeah. And before we get into, the movies that are based off of TV shows. There are some honorable mentions we want to put out there that we won't be discussing today because we haven't watched it recently.
But we're going to do a second episode, quite possibly, where we go into these ones.
So, for these ones, we have Radio Rebel.
Because duh.
And that one...
That one's going to be a rough watch, I feel like. But it'll be funny.
It'll be funny.
We'll have a fun time.
And we have another W. Ryan movie, 16 Wishes.
I loved that one.
Me too.
So I'm kind of scared to watch it, but I'm also excited.
Yeah. So want to shout them out, and then we also want to shout out Teen Beach Movie. We won't be getting into it right now, but
we still need to watch both of those ones.
And then Good Luck Charlie as well. Good Luck Charlie Christmas.
Yes.
We're gonna watch it during Christmas time.
Yeah, because it's only right. Yeah.
So, but just want to put those out there. They will be talked about.
Yeah. We're not forgetting them.
Yeah.
Oh, let's put Princess Protection Program in there, too.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Because we haven't watched that one in a bit. Or, I don't know if we ever have.
I've watched it on my own, I think, when I go and visit home. But, yeah, we'll have to. We'll get
that was always the movie that I chose when I went to the dentist.
Period.
Like, if I had a cavity or if I was getting a cleaning, they would be like, oh, what movie do you want to watch? It was always Princess Protection Program.
That's so lit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, now transitioning. So we got the Sweet Life movie.
Because no one ever talks about this movie, and, like, rightfully so. It was genuinely the worst decom I think I've ever seen in my life. I don't know who the fuck signed off on this. It literally had nothing to do with the show. It had nothing to do with the original plot of the show. It felt like these characters had been written by an entirely different team of people. I was gagged at how bad it was.
Me too. Because when we watched it during spring break, I haven't watched that movie since I was a kid.
Yeah, same. That's one of the only decoms that I haven't rewatched before.
And I feel like I only watched it when it was, like, on...
When it was premiering?
When it was premiering.
Yeah.
Or when they would, like, rerun it. Like, I would never seek out to watch it.
No, and no one should.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If you like that movie, I'm really confused. If you could elaborate, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for the Sprouse twins for having that in their portfolios. I feel bad for everyone involved. Like, that was fucking horrible.
Well, Brenda Song ate, so.
Well, she always does.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. My thing is just, like...
The plot,
everything. The plot, like, just the way it was written, like, that movie should never have been made. I think they were really, like, latching onto something.
Let's not spend any more time talking about this. Let's just rate it.
That was a
0
out of 10 for me.
0.
I would never watch it again. I was mad at myself for having seen it.
Valid. Yeah,
I'm really passionate about this one.
It was bad.
Yeah.
It was just bad stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, next we have Wizards.
We haven't watched that one.
Which we haven't watched.
Recently.
But let's just touch on it and then we can deep dive later.
Okay, because I feel like I remember most of it, honestly. Like, that one was a really vivid one for me.
I feel like we've been hesitant to rewatch it because of how
so
emotional it is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's crazy.
We have to be in a very specific mood for that one, because I feel like most times when we watch something, we want to, like, laugh and we want to make fun of it, which I feel like that movie has to have some moments like that.
Oh, for sure. It does.
Like, definitely with Jake T. Austin being in it, we will laugh. But near the end, like, it just gets so intense, and that's family.
Yeah, so that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
That is a really good one. I feel like everyone in that cast acted their hearts out for that one. So, like, yeah, I feel like I can't rate it yet because I haven't seen it in years. But
when she has the family watch, she's like, I wish you and Dad had never.
No, I know. Gagged. Like, Alex was always making some trouble.
Okay, yeah. I wanted to just touch on the opening sequence of the subway. I remember that being, like, so intense.
Yes, it was so, like, I was like, oh, we're in for a treat. Because, like, every time there was, like, a movie based off the show, like, I remember the same thing for the Good Luck Charlie movie. Like, even though the set was the same, you could tell that they got, like, a higher quality camera and just, like, I don't know, like, it just felt like so much more upscale. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, it is a movie. Like, it felt like such a big thing.
It was an event.
It was an event. Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll revisit this one. We won't rate it now, but we have very fond memories of that one.
Yeah, that one's a good one.
Okay, moving on to the big hitters. So, we're getting into the franchises.
Wait. Before we do, can we briefly touch on the Hannah Montana movie? Because we watched that at the beginning of summer.
Yes!
And that... I don't know if that's technically a decom because it was released in theaters, but it is based off the Hannah Montana show. And that genuinely is one of my favorite summer movies ever. Like, I'm going to rewatch that every summer now.
That was so good.
Like,
when we watched it all together.
Yeah, the music is so good. I love Miley Cyrus so much.
I listened to the soundtrack for
literally
a
month. Yeah, like, so long. The music slaps because obviously it's Miley. And just... the story was so good and just like, I don't know, I love that movie. I literally remember seeing it in theaters and getting like a pack of cards that were like Hannah Montana cards from the movie and like,
it like chills,
so
like literal chills watching it. And I feel like, I mean, it was not a very long movie. It's like an hour and a half maybe. Yeah. But like,
I was in it.
I was
locked in.
Yeah, it's emotional and it's her dealing with being a pop star while also just like coming back to your roots, like not getting so disconnected.
Yeah,
because sometimes
keeping her grounded.
Because I feel like sometimes I feel that way, not that I'm a pop star by any means, but just like when you're away from your family for a long time, like living somewhere else.
Especially in like California,
Yeah.
I feel like, and like just like the LA area.
I don't want to say I get like blindsided or just like, I don't know. Like, I try to keep my family as close as possible by like calling and texting them regularly.
Yeah.
But it is just like you can get so disconnected and feel so distant from like where you grew up and where you come from.
Yeah. I'm sure that movie hit home for you.
And it was a good one. Miley ate. Love Lily. Jackson, he's funny.
I love Jackson.
He's so funny in that movie too.
That movie made me like think about my dad a lot too.
Yeah.
Like I was listening to Butterfly Fly Away for like a week straight, and I was just like, oh, I love my dad.
So
you know.
good, yeah. And then Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she had an appearance. She played a bomb-ass song.
Yeah.
That was fun.
She was super cute.
Yeah.
And then isn't
So,
that
baby.
where she met the guy who was in the
You Belong With Me music video? Maybe.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one came first. The You Belong With Me video or Hannah Montana the movie.
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure easy Google search could answer that question,
That's
but
true,
we're
but-
not getting into it. We're
Yeah,
leaving it
no.
a mystery for now.
Yeah. You guys can do that and let us know.
But yeah, the Hannah Montana movie was fire, and I feel like they did do good at like letting it continue from the show.
Yes, it didn't
sometimes-
feel too different.
Yeah, it didn't feel too different.
Because like we said with the Sweet Life movie, it was just completely out of the park. Like that would not happen in the show.
Yeah.
They were talking about like some sci-fi shit, and that did not happen in the show.
Yeah, it was just like too out there.
Yeah. Whereas like the Hannah Montana movie was very much like a continuation of the show.
It was grounded.
Yeah. It was just so good.
It was so good.
That
I
was a
know.
good one.
I feel like it's because they're making a movie for the girls. Like
True.
Like they're making it for the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I could say that too about like Starstruck and Wizards. Like they're making it for the girls.
A lot of those Disney movies were for the girls, let's be so honest.
Yeah,
Like boys could enjoy them, but they were like they were about like female friendships
Yeah.
and like family and just like friendships, like I don't know.
I know my brother and I really bonded like over dcoms and stuff. Especially like not Sweet Life, not the movie, but Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah, I loved the show.
Yeah, I do remember like me and my brother when it was on Netflix for the first time and it was like summer, we'd just like binge watch it and we'd make up dances to the theme song and stuff, and it was like such a good time. I made him be Cody because like
Period. You are Zach.
because
Like,
he had
I'm
a
sorry.
blanket and I was like, yeah, you freak. Like, you're Cody.
No, that's why I was so offended by how bad the movie was, because
Yeah.
I genuinely loved that show so much. Like
Yeah.
the original On Deck version was but when they were in the hotel, that was genuinely one of the funniest shows
Yeah.
I've ever seen. Like,
like,
I would still
Ashley-
watch it now and laugh my ass
Yeah,
off.
Ashley Tisdale and Brendan Song carried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so did the twins and Mr. Mosby. Like, literally, the
Love-
cast was
Esteban,
stacked.
too.
Esteban, Arwen. Like,
Yeah.
literally everyone in that
Oh
cast
my gosh,
was a
their
comedian.
mom too.
Yes, Carrie.
Yeah, she ate.
Literally, she was working her ass off for those kids.
Real.
All to not get kicked out of the hotel. Like, yeah.
Okay,
damn.
going back to Hannah Montana. So
Yeah.
what are we rating it?
10.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
No question about it. I'm sorry. That's a 10 out of 10 movie.
Yeah. Okay, now going into the musical franchises.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so we have High School Musical 1, 2, and 3.
Of course.
So let's start with 1. So that was your first time watching it?
Yes, all the way through.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. It was good. I don't remember it. I don't remember a ton of it. I won't lie. It was a good foundation. It was a good way to ease us into it. But I feel like where things really progress and where things really like stand out is 2 and 3.
I agree, but I want to touch on what was going on during the time of like High School Musical 1.
Touch on it.
Okay. So that franchise is directed by Kenny Ortega. And this man had just such a distinct and amazing vision that
He really did.
like obviously it influenced an entire generation, let's be so for real.
Yeah, period.
And what was so interesting at this time of the early 2000s is that there wasn't like a big teen pop star. Like I feel like there was Britney Spears, but she was very, I don't want to like, she was more sensual.
Mature.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
mature, and it was for an older audience, I
Yeah.
feel like. Where like I feel like this movie alongside like Hannah Montana.
I love the way you say her name.
Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana. Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana.
Hannah Montana.
I feel like, well, I don't feel like, this is like literally proven, is that
Facts.
yeah, these are literal facts, that like the musical charts were going crazy of just being filled with songs from the High School Musical soundtrack and from the Hannah Montana TV show. So Disney was like taking note of this, being like,
they had the opportunity to do something crazy,
like realizing the power of teens.
Yeah, because this was probably around the time where the Jonas Brothers were coming up too, and they like hopped on their opportunity to grab them.
So the power of just like teens.
Probably Selena.
Yeah, Selena. But that they came after this, I feel
Yes,
like.
yes, true.
But the power of like teens and music and like the streaming numbers are crazy.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like, I mean, High School Musical 1 had just some great songs, and what was great about it is that it was a cool musical.
Yeah.
Like, it was cool. It wasn't, like, too musical theater-y.
Yeah, it wasn't, like, Broadway shit.
Yeah.
It was, like, very much, like, easy language, and it was, like, topics that, like, every kid could relate to. Like, stick to the status quo, that song.
Stick to the status quo.
Like,
creme brulee. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That song eats up so hard. I like to pop and lock and jam and break. Is that even legal? It's dancing. Like, it's so good. Like just it just shows that there's more, like, there's more to people than just like what you see, you know?
Period, yeah.
And it was just so like that. Oh, that scene in the cafeteria is just so fun to watch.
I was very impressed by that one. I was like, oh damn, they don't make shit like this anymore.
No.
Like,
and we were talking about this after we watched this franchise, is that it's a very simple plot. It's teens in high school. That's it.
Yeah.
And it touches on the different groups. Touch on the jocks, the nerds,
the bakers.
And then, like, the musical theater kids. The theater kids. It literally has Sharpay and Ryan, and they're perfect in that. Bop to the top.
Killer.
Jam. Jam.
Yeah.
So good. Bop, 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 bop to the top. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It eats
it is
down.
A bop.
It eats down.
Sorry.
And just like the whole plot of the start of something new. Like, they were just so good.
Okay, yeah, that song does that.
Yes.
Okay, I forget.
They just
that one had good ones.
Like, during that time, it just is so good at touching on teen emotions, where I feel like it wasn't it's not that it was undiscovered, but I feel like this really like commercialized it and made it accessible for teens to like relate.
But it also could
demographic.
It was like so good for like such a broad audience, you know? Like,
yes.
4-year-olds loved it, but also like 14-year-olds loved it. And then also 17-year-olds probably loved it. Even adults probably loved it. Like, literally, like, anyone could see themselves in like some sort of group or some sort of situation in that movie. And so it was just like really good.
Yeah.
For like reaching so many people.
Get Your Head in the Game is so good. Like, that one's really funny scene to watch.
It's, because it's not Zac Efron's voice.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm hearing Drew Seeley the entire time, and I'm like, Zach, that's not.
It's crazy.
But I love Drew Seeley's voice. Like, come on, another Cinderella story.
True.
Rise.
Why does it feel so wrong? My head's the game, but my heart's in this song. Yeah. She makes it feel so right.
Okay, Zach. I didn't know you were in the room with us.
What are those two doing in the tree, Darbus? Like, that shit eats.
Right. Again, I've only seen this once.
Oh.
I don't remember all the scenes.
Oh, sorry. They're in detention. Like, Miss Darbus gives Chad and Troy detention, and they're supposed to be practicing. So Coach Bolton comes in and goes, because they're building the sets for the play.
And he's like, what are you doing?
What are those two doing in the tree?
Right. Okay, I remember that now. Yeah.
And then
it's like, why'd you steal my players?
Yeah. It's beef. And then just breaking free.
Soaring, flying. Like,
holy
there
moly.
is not a star in heaven that we can't reach.
The
bars!
The freaking
bars.
Connection between Troy and Gabriella during that scene
they were so cute.
Is literally the best thing to have ever been captured for cinema.
Yeah. That was the start of something new.
Yes!
It truly was.
The start of, honestly, all of their careers. Like, this put them on the map and was like, oh, we need to be taking these Disney kids seriously.
Yeah, they knew that they could, like, they could do it again.
Yeah.
They could get more.
Yeah.
And they did. They made so many stars from that era.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The talent was crazy.
That one scene, like, just, I love the blocking of that on stage because it's very simple and it's about these two people and them singing to each other. The scene where freaking Gabriella is twirling and it's like, it's after the bridge, it's like the big break at the end. And she just twirls, I'm sorry. And like, oh my gosh.
Does she like fall into Troy's arms or something? What happened?
It's just like somehow like he kind of spins her out.
Oh,
and she has like her arms up and like her skirt is flowing. And I'm just like, ugh. Like, I'm like, yeah. Like, Kenny ate up with that shot. Like,
the vision was visioning.
The vision was so good. And what I also loved about this movie is that they made Troy a good guy. Because I feel like typically they make the jocks like these cocky guys. But
that's true. But he was so nice.
He was like friends with everyone. Yeah, it was great.
Everyone liked him. Yeah. And like for good reason. He was very respectful.
Chad was the player.
Yeah.
Chad was definitely the player.
Chad was the one who was like pressuring Troy to like pick a side, pick a team.
Yeah.
But I get it. If my bestie was like going off and doing something else, I'd miss her. I'd want her back. I'd be like, dude, what are you...
Yeah, and men don't know how to communicate emotions, so, yeah. So,
ooh, that's true.
It would get messy.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
I'd be like, musical theater?
No, yeah. No, stick to the status quo.
For real, Chad wanted to stick to the status quo.
And then Sharpay Evans, a star.
A star from day one.
Yes. And I understood her concern. Everyone thinks she's the villain. No. Girly grew up doing this thing.
She was grinding.
It was passionate about it. And then these two amateurs come in and steal her leading role.
She had a right to be mad. Like,
she did.
Maybe she could have gone about it in different ways.
True, but she did it with so much
cuntiness. Yeah, the cuntiness was there. So that's true. But, yeah, I do agree. Like, she was valid for being pissed off.
Let's hop into the second film.
Yeah.
Because this is
where Sharpay gets her moment.
Yeah.
Like, this is what brought me back to this movie every summer. I was like, oh, I need to see the pool scene.
This soundtrack is fire, except for the end song.
See, unpopular opinion, I like the end song.
Every day
of our lives. I don't know. Like, for me, personally, I love a choir song sometimes. Like, I'm not religious in any aspect of the word, but for some reason, I just love, like, when people get together and they sing and they're just so happy. Every day. Like, it makes me happy.
Oh my gosh.
I love multiple voices at once. Like, I don't know.
I'm glad you
sorry.
love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me, the soundtrack eats all the way through. But I know other people have different opinions.
What time is it?
Summertime.
Like that
Summer.
is the best opening sequence, and just like the clock,
that, like,
the clock getting bigger every
I
scene
can imagine like watching that for the first time after seeing the first one and being like, oh, we're so bad.
Yeah,
you know? It's like, oh fuck, like,
yeah,
the cast is here, we're excited, it's summer, like, oh my god. Yeah,
those dance sequences in the hall are so fun.
I love watching the behind the scenes of them rehearsing. And then there's like that clip of them doing the hallway sequence, and like Kenny is like, okay, don't put your all into it, like it's just a rehearsal. And then they do, they still eat. And he's like, damn, okay.
It eats up. It's so good. And then they go to the club, the country club, and just, it's, for some reason, Zac Efron's orange the whole time, and his eyes are crystal blue.
Piercing. like, hello? Like, he's giving just like...
It's just so scary. It's
like, he's all eyes. All eyes, no, nothing else. Can we talk about Bet on It?
Oh my gosh,
like,
yes.
First of all, no choreography. Kenny Ortega said, action. And Zach went...
I just don't know how true that is, you know?
I don't know. It seems like Zach could have done that. on his own.
Okay.
He was fucking talented. He is talented.
Yeah. I
buy it.
I just think there's so much preparation for a scene that I'm like, you're telling me this entire thing was improv with the amount of like different
all he had
different
was
camera
a
shots?
grass lawn and a dream. Like,
for me, it's the camera angles that I'm like, there's no way, like, I don't know, with knowing how to capture movement, I'm like, you can't just walk and fuck around, you know? I'm sure they had like ideas of like, okay, we're gonna be here.
well, that's the thing. They probably did like try different things before the final cut.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they didn't go into it being like, oh, you're gonna do this, this, and this. They were just like, well, we have this lawn.
Yeah.
You're feeling frustrated.
Oh, him
like,
leaping across the lawn, 100%
Yeah, like-
believe that's improv.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Him
Yeah.
doing all those twirls, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, he loves a twirl.
He loves a twirl.
Zac Efron loves a twirl, and I love it for him. Like, one thing about that man, he's good at spin.
Yeah. Gotta go my own way.
What about us? What about everything we've been through?
What about trust?
You know I never wanted to hurt you.
But what about me?
Like, I love a duet, and I love it when it's angsty. Like, that song just gives such, like, early 2000s R&B vibes.
Yeah.
Like, it just... Vanessa Hudgens has such a good voice, and so does Zac Efron. I don't know why they didn't use his voice in the first movie. Like, they just... And them together, like, they're just so good.
It eats up.
Like, that... And the scene from Camp Rock where it's Demi and Joe
We'll get
singing.
there,
I
we'll
know,
get
I'm sorry,
there.
I just get excited, but like I
know.
see the parallels and I see what Disney was trying to do.
Yes.
And I love an angsty duet.
Yeah.
So that one's so
That duet
good.
eats so hard. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. But let's talk about another duet. I Don't Dance. On the baseball field.
The gayest scene we've ever seen.
It's kind of amazing. It was so groundbreaking.
Yeah, that was really progressive for the time
Like,
when they switched out.
Wow, like their eye contact and their tension in that scene, like they're
don't dance.
they're
Like,
fighting.
I know you can.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what's his name?
Chad?
No,
or Ryan?
Ryan. Ryan was determined to get this man to dance.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, I'm gonna see that thing.
Yeah.
Bounce.
Yeah, and then back like the whole dance sequence of them just like both teams on the field
Baseball.
on the field, and they're like going between each other, weaving in and out with the bats. And, oh, they do like the like I'm like it's
Yeah.
like oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, that was. I was like eyes glued on screen for the entire sequence.
And what's really good about this franchise too is that, like we were talking about earlier, the demographic is so wide, and also it's not gender specific.
Yeah, they do really like emphasize that boys can be creative and they can be performative and they can like dance, they can do, they can sing, they can do all of those things, and it's cool.
And
it's
still
sick.
like play basketball, have fun playing
True,
basketball.
that
still
too.
doing
And
those
baseball, like, you know,
Yeah.
like they were still sporty, but they were also like fucking belting it.
things. Yeah, they ate up.
Yeah, that's
And then
so true.
Them switching clothes at the end of the scene is so funny. I saw an interview of them talking about it, and they said they
Really?
filmed it in their like own outfits, and then Kenny was just like, switch outfits.
Really?
Yeah.
Kenny is a genius.
He has a vision.
Yeah.
He
knows exactly
goddamn
what he
vision.
wants.
It is so good. Shout
Love
out Kenny
him.
Ortega.
Yeah, we love you.
I actually met Kenny Ortega. I won't deep dive into it, but he's an amazing human, and he's a huge inspiration of mine.
Lit.
So he's great. Shout out Kenny.
Yeah.
Okay, now the third. Let's just hop into the third movie. Wow.
Watching the third movie for the first time all the way through and with the girls, like, life changing. Genuinely, we need to rewatch it again soon.
No,
actually.
I was just
like,
thinking
like
that.
I haven't felt that way about a movie in a while. Like, that was so good.
That opening.
And for a children's movie, technically, like,
that opening shot of just Troy Bolton's face, sweaty in the middle of his basketball game. Talk about an icon.
Yeah, they were
Talk
doing that for the
about
girls
an
for
icon.
real. That was some eye candy right there. Like,
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a great sequence.
yeah.
I've watched some videos of them like blocking the choreography for the basketball sequences, and like them bringing in like actual basketball players to help them with it. I mean, like, Zac Efron was no basketball player going into it, but he did. I believed he was a star.
Yeah, for real. I was like,
oh
shit.
I was like, yeah, he's the captain.
I was like, yeah, he's definitely throwing that ball in there.
Yep.
In the hoop.
Okay, what other songs are in that one?
Scream.
We'll get. I feel like we need to build up to Scream.
Okay,
we need to touch on some other things before we get there.
What's the one of him and Chad?
The Boys Are Back.
The Boys Are Back.
Ooh.
The Boys Are Back. They've been back. They
ate it up so hard. It's ridiculous.
That scene was so fucking good. They both looked so sexy.
Yeah.
And then when they turned into the little boys of them, like, my heart, like,
it
just
really
and
cute.
like that song, it just bangs.
You knew shit was gonna go down, like, because they were kind of like singing to each other. The second Chad just does that knee slide on the floor, you know, like,
Shit's about to go down.
This is gonna be a fucking banger, and like they're about to pop off.
And them like just being in the the park, like, what were they?
They're in the car. What's it called? Freak.
I know, like.
The
graveyard, the car graveyard.
No, the car. Oh my gosh, the dump.
I don't know where the old cars go to die.
It's on the tip of my tongue, and it's like really bugging me.
But it just looked so good, and it was like perfect.
The vibes were
the vibes. Yeah,
vibing.
they had a mood board, and I would love to see it. Like, I know exactly like what it looks like, you know, and they nailed it.
And then I also loved Vanessa Hudgens and Zac Efron songs. Right here. Oh,
I was thinking Night to Remember.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that one. That's a standout for me. For me, I think Night to Remember, Boys Are Back, and Scream are my 3 favorites from this one.
I Want It All.
I want it. Oh my god, this movie is just so good.
It's so
and the
good.
production value, like,
yeah.
We
It
were
was
here,
stupid.
then we went maybe up here, but then they went all the way up here for the third one, and I wish so bad that I could have seen it in theaters.
Dude,
like,
literally, like, A Night to Remember. That one is so fun.
Nights?
Yeah. Night of Nights Tonight.
Like, the choreo is so good,
so
and I'm not
good.
even a dancer, but I just love that sequence when Zac Efron is in his suit, and he's, like, dancing.
Weird.
Like, yes! Like, they did exactly what they had to do for that one. I listened to that one, like, genuinely,
It's
like,
a bop.
all the time. It's so good.
I feel like, too, like, with that song, it does...
I'm getting pumped.
It does such a good... It does such a good job of showing the girlie's perspective. Being like, oh, I'm gonna look so beautiful. He's gonna come in and just sweep me off my feet.
And then
it's
the boys
gonna be-
are stressing out. They're like,
what's a corsage?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And then they're like, I have to meet the parents. They're like, do we have to do this? I'm like, yes. And then by the end, they're like,
they're all getting into
it.
it, and they're all dancing. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love this movie.
Sharpay and Ryan's
I
little
want it.
musical moments
Oh, wait.
in that when they're like getting ready and stuff, getting ready,
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
ready, and it's like their vanities. And
Yeah,
stuff.
true. And they're next to each other.
It's
yeah.
so cunty.
No, the whole movie is cunty.
so
Like, the
good.
sets are so good.
So good.
Like, they did so good.
Yeah. And then I Want It All. That one's
That like made me lock in for this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the first sequence, I was like, okay, yeah, we're so back.
Yeah.
Part 3. But then I saw that one, and I was like, oh my god.
This was like dancing. This was like they were
They had
changing
movie
sequence.
sets,
Yes.
Like, oh my god. And then Vanessa Hudgens in the maid costume. She looked so hot.
And seeing also Zeke in the Hawaiian shirt and his abs, like,
And where they were like dancing together.
he's like holding Sharpay's hips.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Yep.
Like, period. Hand placement. Let's go.
And also seeing Zac Efron be a little fangirl of Sharpay was
That was
amazing.
everything. Where he was wearing the shirt, and then he's like,
he's like trying to fight security, get through him, like, period.
No, like,
they ate.
just like, and that was like the movie where he looked like the best. He looked so good in that movie.
Okay,
like,
and then I loved Walk Away, the Vanessa Hudgens song. Like, that one's so dramatic. It's great.
Yeah. Love. Like, that's the type of music you would listen to on a rainy day when you're like in the backseat of your parents' car and they're like driving. Like you could be driving home from the grocery store and you're listening to that song and looking out the window like you're having a dramatic day.
I loved having
in a music video.
As children. It was so
I know,
great.
same.
And then now into Scream.
Where do we even begin with that one? Like, it's just genuinely groundbreaking. Never seen something like it before.
Bet on It was the tip of the iceberg.
For real. Like that was my favorite song for like when I was growing up from the High School Musical 2 movie. I loved that song. I cannot believe I didn't know about Scream.
Yeah, and then they stepped up their game for Scream. Like, just you knew, like,
they put Zach on the mic.
once, like, Zach
like,
puts his
do it.
hands on his head and it's getting too much for him and the balls start dropping from the ceiling and he starts just having a temper tantrum. Oh, yeah, we're locked in.
Yeah,
and then guess
we're
what?
so there.
Guess what? Then from there, whoa, rotating hallway.
Yeah.
Rotating hallway. You thought it was over? No.
No, like
No.
he's truly, his world is going upside down.
Zac
Like he
Efron-
doesn't know where to go.
Zac Efron was acting for his life.
Dead ass.
Like,
He had a gun. Kenny Ortega had a gun behind the camera and said, "You better nail this."
I don't even think there was a gun involved. I think he just willingly, was like, oh my god. He's like, I know exactly what you want to convey,
Right.
And I'm gonna do 1,010%.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did that in one take.
Well,
Okay, for dramatic effect, like he
sure.
did that in one take.
oh yeah,
Like with his talent, I believe it. I bet he did.
just it's the full body movement he does in this one because there's a lot
When he's
of dancing
going down the
sequences.
stairs, or when he's going up the stairs and banging.
He's
his
doing
head.
everything,
I know,
dude.
but I just like think of that one specifically.
Yeah,
because
when he's-
you've done it and you do it so well.
I know that choreography verbatim, and it's so good. It's so good.
Bella has performed it several times in our living room while we were playing the scene on the TV, and it's so good. Bella is Troy Bolton.
It's so
And now you have like
fun.
the hair,
Yeah.
so like it really comes through.
And then it's so fun because it transitions from him on the court to him on the stage.
For real.
So-
And it ends on him on the stage, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Yeah, and so like, but
Like
like
I'm saying,
he chose.
He's meant for the
Oh, okay,
stage.
okay, yeah.
like he ate that up, and I love when he's in backstage and they're playing with like the reins and stuff,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
like, I don't know, and then he gets up and he's like, and he does the back bend, and then he
Yeah.
slides onto the stage into the plank. Come on now,
You can't make this up.
No.
Like, it's so good.
it's so good, and he screams at the end. Then he
Yeah.
screams his heart out at the end when he throws down the poster of him.
Oh my god, yeah. No, like
Gag.
he put his all into that performance. And
It was a stormy night. Like,
I
oh,
hope
yeah.
it went platinum. Like I hope
I know.
I hope it went on the charts or something. Like
It
if not,
is-
we put it back there because
Yeah.
we were streaming it all fucking summer. That
It's
song
so
is
good.
so good.
It's so good. And then the final song,
It's so emotional.
High School Musical.
Yeah.
like at their graduation, it really like, dude, it hits. Every time I listen to it in the car, I actually think I'm gonna get into a terrible accident.
No,
because
same.
my eyes are welling
I can just
up.
picture like all of them, like their solo.
Yeah,
Like,
their face. Their
yes,
close-ups.
where they're like, yeah, they're just like reflecting, and you can like see that they're like,
they know it's
I don't
the
know,
end.
yeah, because also like it was those actors' last High School Musical movie,
Yeah.
so like they were saying goodbye in a sense, and so I feel like it really shined through, and that scene was just so good, but
like
so
the
emotional.
choreography too. Like it does.
Oh
it does
my
that song
god,
so much justice
when they're in the different colored gowns and we get the overhead shot of them, like
and then they like
they go
collab,
into the wildcat
and then like
formation.
the chorus, like High School Musical says we have to let it go. It's the best part we've ever known. And they go,
Oh,
leave it
yeah.
to the future.
Yeah.
Like when they reach for the future, I'm like, oh my god.
Like, we are
Like I
reaching.
feel it.
Yeah.
Like the dancers, all of them were like, they felt it in their bones. They were reaching for the future. And then like
Damn.
the part,
I'm getting emotional just thinking about
I know,
it.
me too. And the
Like,
part
wow, that's
where
gonna be us.
where's the big break where they're like at the end, and it just pans through everyone just like dancing their hearts out. I'm like,
you should have been there.
and in the gowns too. I'm like, this looks so free. Like, this looks so free. They ate up so hard.
Yeah, that was such a good one.
Yeah. So this franchise, 10 out of 10. Like, no notes.
No question about it.
Notes.
Yeah, like, we will be rewatching again soon.
So we are at the 1 hour mark. Do you want to keep going or do a part 2? Because I feel like My Babysitter's Vampire is going to be...
Oh, that's going to take a minute.
Yeah.
We might have to do a part 2, guys. I mean, I know we already said that we would, but we might have to cut this one short and then continue in the next one. Because, like, some of those other ones we might not have as much to talk about, but, like, we're going to dive into Camp Rock. We're going to dive into My Babysitter's Vampire.
Yeah. My Babysitter's Vampire.
You're going to dive into Descendants.
Yeah. So
I know you will.
Here are some... We're going to do, like... I would say in October, probably.
Yeah.
October, we'll do another episode where we touch on...
Maybe Girl versus Monster.
Yeah. Honorable mentions for the Halloween episode is Halloween Town, Twitches, Girl versus Monster, Descendants.
Yeah,
which I feel like will be fun to talk about.
True.
Along with continuing on Camp Rock, just because we didn't touch it.
And we're going to touch on it.
We're going to touch on it.
I'm going to touch on it. I need to speak about that one.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because we had our Jonas Brothers face recently.
Yeah.
So.
And then My Babysitter's Vampire will also be good.
That one's going to be a big episode for us.
Get excited.
We have a lot to cover there.
Yeah. Wow.
But we covered a lot today, so I hope you all enjoyed.
This was a different episode than we've had.
Yeah, but I loved it. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. I love dcoms. I'm very passionate about them.
Yeah, we could deep dive in it for hours.
Because there's also so many movies and there's so many shows. Like there's a lot of content. So
cut us off.
I know, for real. Can't take us anywhere. Thank you guys for streaming this week's episode.
And we hope you tune in next time. And make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
And subscribe to the YouTube channel for more episodes.
You can follow us at Secrets of Two Girls Pod.
Period.
2 with the number 2, not the letter 2. Number 2.
Number 2.
So yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.